right. Let's move to agenda item 11, Flexible Path Community Engagement Update, Part 2. Mr. Jonathan T. Arena.
Good afternoon, Chair Steen and fellow board members. Excited to come back again as a follow-up on last month's presentation around our flexible path engagement opportunities. Really today what we'll be doing is having a much more broader conversation, more context around the additional touch points and engagement that we do throughout the organization. Before I start though, I should mention I'm the fortunate one to be up here and very excited to be here, but yet in reality there are hundreds of individuals that work daily at these various events that are on the telephones, that are talking with our customers, that are actively seeking this feedback from our customers. And so first and foremost, I want to say thank you to them, because without them, we wouldn't be having this information. To go over the agenda, we'll be, again, talking about how we are listening to our community, partner engagements, talk a little bit more in depth around our People First customer care fairs. I have a couple of videos that I want to share with you all, and then also talk about additional surveys and touch points, and then our next steps. So first and foremost, we continue to be in that listening to our community mindset. And we do this through multiple channels. Channels that you've heard me speak about up to this point have been focused around the People First fairs and our online web-based survey. But there are additional opportunities where we seek that engagement and that feedback, ranging from engagements at our walk-in centers where our customers can go and pay their energy bills, or seek opportunities to learn more about our products and services, in addition to after-call surveys that happen when customers actually call into our call center after we're able to complete out the transaction or the need that's being requested by the customer. More times than not, they actively participate in a survey so that we can hear feedback on what that experience was like. So starting with this slide, we'll talk about our community engagement team. So this is spearheaded by Maria Garcia, our Vice President of Community Engagement, and more specifically, her team led by Jesse Hernandez, our Director of Community Engagement. This team consists of groups that are actively out in the community, educating and bringing awareness on our various products and services, as well as troubleshooting outside normal, if you will, customer service inquiries. Things ranging from maybe a senior citizen having the inability of making it to a walk-in center, or a customer already on some type of a payment plan or option, and just seeking that next level of concierge service, if you will. So I'll highlight a couple of opportunities or engagements that we've done here recently. Starting on my top left, that's a member of the community outreach team that went out and actually helped service and troubleshoot a need for 2 customers, helped them figure out a payment option that is manageable for them. Because again, as Paula mentioned earlier today, there isn't just a one-size-fits-all. We very much are customizing our solutions and recommendations so that customers can work and still be able to have the power that they need to power their everyday responsibilities. One that I'm really excited about is our community outreach, specifically in schools. So the same team goes out and does education and demos, different safety things around our business. So specifically, it's not uncommon for us to go to a school and do an Arc and Spark demo. This is actually in partnership with Rudy Garza's team, where we actually roll out a demo that we have where individuals, or actually our team members, actually demonstrate what it's like when a balloon may actually hit a power line, and what that actually does for what the ramifications are. Thank you. Sorry, my allergies are killing me today. And we're going to do it right here. In addition to the Arc and Spark demonstration, they are also bringing around education around just safety in general. So talking about things, if they smell an odor and they're near a gas line, what that could look like. If they are seeing a down wire on the street, how to stay away from it, and bringing that kind of awareness at a youth level so that they are much better well informed. Another good example here is that same community safety team went out to our headquarter location, the construction over here on McCullough Avenue, and actually did an event that they call a loncheta. This is when we go out and actually have a safety conversation, a safety stand down, if you will, with construction workers, to do those same things, to bring awareness, bring education to them, and try to maximize our reach. When we do all of these events, what's key to note, or what's important to note, is that we often seek feedback to find out if these events are, 1, beneficial, 2, if we're delivering on the right topics to them, and then 3rd, what can we just be actively doing better to help promote that education and outreach. That same team, if you recall, maybe one of the questions we got last month was, how do we partner and how do we actively seek opportunities within our council districts? This gives you an insight as to the amount of different touch points that we do with the 10 council districts throughout our community. These events include our People First fairs, those lanchetas that I included, the community education outreach events, but in addition, these are also the high-touch customer service issues that I mentioned earlier, where our teams are actively out there and bringing that concierge service to the customer in their neighborhoods at a grassroots effort. If you are not aware, our Residential Energy Assistance Program, or REAP, is a partnership between us, the City of San Antonio, and Bexar County, where we are where funding is available for folks to help pay their bills during times of need, traditionally in the peak of summer or in the peak of winter. Our community engagement team is actively out there coordinating with those individuals that are in need of those additional help or additional funding. And we're going to share a quick video here to kind of show what community engagement team looks like in action.
The water heater had leak, so the gas was going, so they turned off my gas. I didn't know that we were gonna have Thanksgiving. They had a meal for us, a Thanksgiving meal, everything. I didn't expect it. I don't have the words. It's appreciation, gratitude, but also all what it came about, love. And that's what we are. Because at the end of the day, we're all family in God's eyes. Thank you, CPS Energy. I love you all. God bless.
Value that our team members bring 24/7, 365. This isn't the stuff that typically gets, out in, mass press, or that we're actively always seeking to be in the limelight. But this really speaks to the commitment as community members being here, as our popular slide says, born here, raised here. Just really speaks to the volumes of our team members. In addition, specifically to some feedback that we were seeking from our small to medium business commercial customers. This past year, we launched our E2B team. The E2B team is very similar to that CREW, community engagement or community response unit team, but this team in particular is focused on our small to medium businesses. As part of our ongoing research around focus groups and getting feedback from our customers, we saw that there are opportunities, and there still remain opportunities to us to better educate and deliver a next round of customer engagement with those customers. And so over the last 11 months, we have launched the E2B business team. Very similar again to CREW. They are branded in CPS Energy clothing. They have a vehicle. They actually have the Sprinter bus, which is a smaller version of the mobile unit that we have for our residential side. And again, we're just actively going out and making ourselves available to seek and have opportunities to engage with this particular customer segments. What's interesting about this one is, as you can imagine, when you're a small business owner, you're not only the CEO, but you're the CFO, the CIO, the security person, you name it. And so we have to be very flexible about the hours that we are working within to make sure that we're meeting with these customers. So a lot of these meetings that we're having with this type of a customer base is happening in the 4 to 7 o'clock in the afternoon time frame, not a traditional working schedule between just 8 to 5. And so we continue to make ourselves flexible and available to make sure we're accommodating our customers' needs. And something I want to highlight, and actually in feedback to Trustee Dr. Mackey, about a year and a half ago, you mentioned, walking into a Home Depot and seeing that, they were actively participating and reducing their load during summer without even having like an incentive or a reason to do it. And so we actually took that and started our E2B on-the-spot winners. And so over the course of the last 11 months, we have been going out to random businesses based off of recommendations or just hearsay, and going out and recognizing them for their efforts around energy conservation and energy efficiency. And so here are a couple of the small to medium business owners that have received this window decal. It's actually a really nice ceremony. What we end up doing is we show up kind of uninvited. We ask to talk to folks, and we educate them on what we saw and how it's been beneficial to them. And here you'll see Christine Patman presenting the window decal, and these customers are very excited about putting that in their front door and recognizing themselves as a recipient of this award. And I'm actually going to share a small video here about our very first one that happened about 11 months ago.
The lighting, the natural lighting, the AC control, just the operations, right? So much of it is not just your usage, but your practices. That's something that's important to us, and it seems like it translates to good practice from what I hear from you guys.
Jose Campos is talking about the different ways he looks to conserve energy at his 9 Commonwealth Coffee House locations here in San Antonio.
Jose Campos with Commonwealth Coffee. It is our pleasure to give you our first on-the-spot recognition for being an energy efficiency champion.
Those efforts have earned Commonwealth Coffee CPS Energy's first Energy Efficiency Champion Award. All 9 Commonwealth locations feature LED lighting, tight seals on all refrigerators, a top-notch gas kitchen, and weather stripping on all doors and windows. Jose also enrolled the coffee house's Evergreen Street location in CPS Energy's Thermostat Rewards program.
I think it's thinking long-term, right? No way is that just me. I have a fantastic business partner, 2 business partners, our staff, our kitchen. I mean, it's a team. We're a small player. Unfortunately, by no means what we do has a maximum effect. But I think it has a small effect. And maybe people see or people care. I mean, we do have 9 locations now. So again, what you do in one location times 9 to some extent has a little bit of effect.
Jose may downplay the effect his conservation measures have on San Antonio's energy usage, but his conservation first thinking and practices are the big ideas to carry us into the future.
New business on that particular day, and really that week, we also spend time promoting that business through our social media channels. And so as a kind of an added benefit, that small business gets some additional advertising, if you will, in partnership with us to recognize all of the good work that they're doing. And it's been a really nice addition to our slate of options. We've talked a little bit about this in the past, but also something to remember that we all actively have as well is we have a pretty comprehensive key account management team, and as well, in addition to that, an economic development team. The primary focus of those teams is really to serve as more of a concierge type service for larger customers to work with them on their energy efficiency needs as well as their rebate programs. This past summer, for example, I think you'll hear Rick talk about it here in a little bit, but we worked really, the key account management team worked really diligently with some bigger customers here in town throughout this community to join our demand response program. And again, those are all savings, megawatt savings that go back into the portfolio that helps reduce the demand, and ultimately is what has helped us accomplish our step megawatt goal earlier than expected. On the economic development side, obviously we are also actively working with all the local partners here, SADF, the city, and everyone else, not only in attracting new clientele to the community, but also working on the retention policy of, or not the retention policy, but the retention of existing businesses, and again, offering them that service that we have that one-to-one communication to help solve for their energy needs. You've seen portions of this over the last couple of months, but just as a reminder, our partner engagement continues going on strong. Since its launch back in March of 2018, hosted over 64 partner presentations, had about 5,000 people participate. Again, we'll continue to seek additional opportunities, and well noted from last month, we are already in talks with various HOAs to go out and have and schedule meetings throughout the start of the new year. Just because of a timing perspective, a lot of HOAs are tending to close out the year with some type of a celebration for in December. So we'll be looking for opportunities to come New Year to go out and seek those engagements. But something I want to mention that may not have been articulated as well last month is that our partner engagement reaches beyond just those that are in the room, but it really is to a much broader audience, right? So even for today, for example, each of us in here, the base of the foundation of us in here is that we're residential customers here at CPS Energy. And with that, you can see the type of reach that actually means. Not only are you here representing maybe an organization or a specific initiative, but in return, the information that is shared with you at any of our presentations really does have an effect of the amount of magnitude of the reach that it can get when you start thinking about talking to their peers, when you start going back to your businesses, going into your neighborhoods, and at the base of all of that is everyone is a residential customer. Our People First community fairs, again, these are our grassroots efforts to really go into our neighborhoods of our customers, have a conversation with them on our products and services, offer our services available. As a reminder, this is not just one business unit. This is really a great partnership between all of our business units throughout our organization that are actively going and having these types of conversations, ranging from reliability to safety, gas operations, electrical services, as well as customer service and our crew teams. At all of these events, not only were we pushing the survey specifically around Flex Power Bundle and Flex Step, but we also have surveys throughout the years as long as we've been doing these fairs over the last 2 or 3 years. We do get surveys in response to the how of the fair. It's a 5-question survey. It's basic questions around: did you find this beneficial? What was your biggest takeaway? What can we do to be better? And do you actually have a recommendation for a better location should this location not have been ideal for the community that we're in? And so just to put that into perspective, though, if you go back since March of 2018, that is 73 different fairs. So, on average, we're actively doing a fair pretty much once a week. In addition, just wanted to share some examples of how we partner with our elected officials to help promote the event. Specifically, I'll call out a couple here. So here you have a District 10 newsflash. Councilman Perry was nice enough to help push our surveys out to his community base. You have a newsletter here in the middle from District 7, Councilwoman Anna Sandoval, and as well as then actual People First Fair on the day of the events. It's not uncommon for council members to help push the activity that is happening in their district. And so here's an example of Councilwoman Villagran helping us promote the location and reminding people until the time will be there, and then showing some highlights of the event. And so we will continue to actively seek those type of engagements. These are just 3 examples, but successfully and thankfully, we've been able to partner with pretty much all of our elected officials to help push this. Something that's not noted here, but I should also highlight, is that we also focus at the state level. And so Carrie Torres, for example, her team really helps spread the message for folks with like Senator Menendez, who actively is active on social media as well as with really all of the San Antonio delegation. So we appreciate their help in helping bring that awareness. We've talked about this a little bit, but focus groups, to give you some insight. So going back to June of 2018, we have hosted 15 qualitative focus groups. Those are your traditional focus groups where, if you remember the Domino's commercials from a couple years ago, people sitting behind the mirror, listening into a group of 10 to 15 people having a conversation about you. If you've never been to one, I definitely highlight or recommend that you start Googling some, because you'll see some really fascinating stuff out there. But this is really an idea to get some quick hits or a pulse of what the community is thinking. This is a lot of words. It's not a lot of data. It's more really opinion based. But it gives you good insight, at least. It gives you a temperature to where certain themes are related to the topics that are being discussed. We also did one quantitative survey. That survey tends to go more into the numbers, right? That is a more focused, more lengthy survey that we use rather through phone or through web to attract customers to participate. That one gives you a little bit more insight from a data perspective, which has been very helpful as well too. Themes over the last 2 years around what we've had conversations are perceptions of CPS Energy, perceptions of STEP, and of our brand, as we spoke about last month. We continue to use those tools. Those are just some of the tools that we use to seek feedback from our customers. And again, when we do those type of engagements, we don't only focus on residential, but we focus on our small to medium business as well as our commercial. as well as Spanish-speaking only customers. It's good to have as much of a mix as possible when we're having these type of conversations. Most importantly, we use all this data to help make decisions and to make pivots. From a marketing and communication standpoint, it would not be uncommon for us to receive some of this data, for example, around a particular campaign, right? And if the messaging is not resonating with our customer base, then it gives us the opportunity to adjust and pivot that messaging so that we can ensure that we're delivering the right message to help drive where we want our customers to go. Something else that we do, and you may have some familiarity with this as well, it used to be known as MSI, but Escalent. This is the customer satisfaction survey that we use as a tier 1 metric. This is the measurement that we use to engage that number. Again, highlighting the fact that we get an array of customers that participate in this. This gives you some insight to the amount of residential, small to medium business, and key account surveys that are done in an active year in order to achieve that number of ultimately what the number is at the end of the year. I'll highlight that 2019, those numbers are lower because that's only through the second quarter. So those numbers will be in par with the other years as we begin to close out the year. Again, Escalent uses their proprietary way of calculation and giving that information. However, it is beneficial to know that they're they're looking at all of these segments of customers in order to help seek where you actually are from a measurement perspective. And it's something that we take obviously a very serious note of, and something that we continue to monitor throughout our years. And actually, I should highlight, I'm sorry, we do get this survey results, probably gonna have to proof check me, but I believe we get it every quarter. And so we use it as a check every quarter to see where we're trending. It gives you good insight because it's usually, if you think about it, if you're getting a grade every quarter as a tracking mechanism, that's really the effects of the previous quarter or really the previous 2 quarters. And so it gives you, from a management perspective, it gives us a good insight into thinking about, okay, what was happening at that time period? What did we maybe have some successes on, or what are some additional opportunities where we could adjust as we move forward? The other thing I'll highlight is just this is a quick look at all the known surveys that we are actively participating in, or asking our customers, to participate in on an annual basis. This is actually a 2-year snapshot. And so the call center, ACS, that is after call survey. So this is that example of where you call into our call center, you seek clarification or help on a particular issue. When you finish, these are actual customers that are, you hear the message, would you like to participate in the survey? These are customers that are actually staying on the phone and giving us feedback. Our call center uses that information continuously to help improve on their scripts and to improve in their engagement and to really track performance of individuals as we're communicating with our customers. At our walk-in centers, we actually have 2 options. So these are the walk-in centers where customers are going to pay their CPS Energy bill or talk to a customer service or an energy advisor. These are the ones specifically at CPS Energy facilities. So this would be like Northside Customer Service Center, the Westside Customer Service, Southside. You have 2 options there. You can actually do handwritten comment cards, which we collect, or you can actually use the automated system where customers can go up on their own and actually answer the survey on a screen and submit it to us electronically. Additionally, our customer engineering group, it's been well documented that we've been making a lot of active progress in improving the way we are actively managing new construction services or the developers in particular. And so we launched the survey 2 years ago when we really put that at the center of the table. And those surveys, again, help us, improve on our processes and see where we are trending, rather on the positive or on things where we still need to improve on. We've talked about the website and customer affairs, and I think I left this out, but our public safety and education team, anytime they go out and do a presentation, they also additionally have a survey that is available where we are, again, actively seeking how do we continue to improve our processes and continue to improve the story, if you will, as we go out and have these presentations. And so over the last 2 years, roughly over 500,000 people have participated in some type of a survey where we have given us some feedback. And as we mentioned, we are committed to continue listening and adapting to our customers as we continue to evolve and hear from them over the course of the time. For next steps in our look ahead, we want to continue with our community, our customer engagement opportunities to listen and learn. As I mentioned, we are actively seeking the opportunities to go out with HOAs and partner with them. So we'll continue to do that from a partner engagement perspective. We'll continue to have our People First community fairs and continue to seek opportunities to go at a grassroots effort and really educate our customers on the foundation of our programs and services. We'll continue with surveys and focus groups, and then something that we're looking at that I think I mentioned last month, but we will be launching pretty soon, is we'll be doing some traditional polling around certain CPS Energy initiatives as well. And so again, I'll just close with highlighting the fact that this is not just one team or one group. This is really a company-wide initiative or approach where we are actively seeking our feedback, not only for a specific initiative, but also how we better improve our interactions with our customers. We'll continue to look for these opportunities and continue to use that data so that we're actively making the right pivots and making sure that we're always delivering the best output for our customers. Take any questions?
Questions or comments? Great job.
Thank you.
Oh,
Do
you have a-
John, I'll just be brief. I mean, this is great, and I think one of the best things that the organization has done the last 5 years is the crew. They do a fantastic job in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
My question will always be, how are we incorporating the feedback? How are we incorporating what we're hearing? How does it change the outcome in many ways with the operations and the conduct of CPS? I mean, I see the chart. If you go to the slide with the little person at the top and the filtered down communication, I mean, that's how you spread the flu. That's not how you communicate with people if you want their feedback. So I will be constantly asking, how does the residential customer at the bottom, I know they're getting informed, but how are they informing us? How's it coming up to us in terms of, we're about to talk about the step plan, we're talking about the power generation, we're talking about a lot of different things. How are we incorporating feedback? The survey instruments are good. They're short. The ones I've seen are centered mostly around, are you informed about CPS and what we're doing and how we're serving you? But we also need the engagement back from them and prove again, closing the feedback loop, how we're incorporating what they've told us.
Sure.
Part 3.
Part 3. Sure.
Next.
We'll be back.
Next. Okay, good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you wait?
Maybe. It's ongoing.
I'll be back.
Yes, absolutely. Well,